Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. To our loyal viewers, subscribers and Patreon member. At the channel, we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because they save lives. This is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives at this channel. We at the channel aid criminals with a passion and do not want them over here. We do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you to go to prison or the departure lounge at Madden. Moving on to today's video. Yo, if you are tired of seeing criminals get away with murder, tired of hearing excuses for the wicked, then it's time to take action. Hit that subscription button now and stay in the loop with the Jamaica Young Police channel. We are not here to sugarcoat. We are here to expose the truth, bring justice, and make sure the real heroes get the recognition they deserve. Don't wait for the change. Be the change. Subscribe, like, and let's make some noise and hold those criminals accountable. Justice in action, speak up. Crime must fall. And remember that we have go inside the description box and you'll see various links to various things for the Jamaica Young Police channel. JamaicaYoungPoliceChannel.com, where you see articles and stuff like that. Those who like to read, and we continue to give you guys exceptional material over here. So, moving on. Yes, it's depending on where you're living. Right now, some people used to say that America is the beacon, for man on earth, Yes, America is the most but I can tell you that most people that live in Jamaica and other parts of the world, the way that if you watch 60 minutes, 20 and all of these things, you would think that America is the most ethical and honest, morally inclined people in the world. But when you live in America and understand the system, you'll realize you're living amongst the art of scammers. Everything, if you can't read, them rip you off. Remember me tell you that. Yeah, because right in America is the art of scamming. All of the business, them people, there's no compassion in business. Everything is all about how them can exploit you, whether or not you want to believe it. So that's why they say education is paramount. If you can't read, them take you for lunch here in America. So you're about to witness a video that rips the mask clean off the face of American politics. A blistering takedown of Donald J. Trump and the cabal he led straight into the Oval Office. The orator from MSNBC, Rachel Maddow, you know that she, whether or not you want to like it, I can tell you, although she fear philosophy total differs, I want to say one of my favorite orators on the TV, yes, apart from Jai Reid and Lawrence O'Donnell, Chris is, yes, because them keeps killing them. But the guy that who used to dominate when it comes on to orators is a guy named Keith Olbermann. But you have to understand, rich people, them are like in time, people talk the truth. Because you have to understand that we in America, people go through a different period of indoctrination. You understand? When they come on to Republican, divide and conquer, them tell them, say, all the problem we have, the black people, them and the brown people, them and the immigrant are cause it. And them so dumb, them vote against their own interest. That no one say, oh, you as a poor person for fee, say rich people are look out for you. You have to be a sick pup if you think that way. You understand? So you're going to listen to this woman here, Rachel Maddow. Although she's one of the, although she, fear, she not typically live the normal lifestyle because you don't know for them brain wired differently. We don't care what people want for that is her life, what she do privately. But we can tell her that, trust me, she's very effective. But I don't think she's half as effective as the brother one named Keith Olbermann. Them take him off of TV, you understand? Bad. Them man, when the man talk and them thing, them man know for convince and ardent and persuade them. And this isn't satire. This isn't exaggeration. This is an epic exposure of raw, unfiltered corruption, deception and betrayal committed by the Trump administration. And let's be clear, corruption in American politics isn't new. But what makes this era terrifying is that they are not hiding it anymore. No smoke, no mirrors, no clever PR campaign. They are selling off pieces of America like it is closing down action. We tell you, from military secrets to voter data, even your social security number are for sale. And guess who's got their hands on the cash register? Yes, the Russians. Yes, you're right. The Kremlin, as it's clawed deep into the American system, and the so-called patriots in the GOP are rolling out the red carpet. But don't expect the whole media to raise the alarm, because some of them are in bed with the very crooks they are supposed to expose. CNN want access, Fox wants ratings, and even the other media houses are too afraid to lose their sponsor or offend their Gulf buddies in Washington. So what do? They gaslight the nation. They twist the truth. They push propaganda like street dealers pushing poison. Now, here's the part they won't tell you, but I will. The only race of people in America who have consistently stood up to Donald Trump, who have seen through his lies and called out his evil, are black people. Yes, majority of black people, they are the one that first come out and tell the world, say Donald Trump a scammer, con artist. Donald Trump have a university where it was not a university. And I tell you, say, that's why the people that have voted for Donald Trump, that's why our scammers them in Jamaica are so successful. Because if you do not buy any lotto or bingo or what you want, and somebody call you and tell you, say you win, you will win something that you never buy. That just show you that you're dishonest people. You are dishonest, and because you're dishonest, you're gullible because you have a mind of a thief. That's why them able to scam you. When the scamming thing started, I'm not digressing. When the scamming thing started in the early 1990s, when I live here, you understand, and in this town and one and two little things, them used to send it by mail. I used to get it by mail, say you win $20 or $40 million and you must send this or that. Me as a Jamaican and an old detective, I know that I didn't buy anything. What I did, I buy a stamp and I wrote a letter and says, boy, I'm really happy to know that I have won so much money, and the amount of money that you're asking, that is not even 0.0000% of what. And I just tell them, take 50% of the winnings and send me my 50%. All I put was a stamp, and I got like 5. And every time they send it, I reply. I did not, because it's come to my name and everything, and send it back to them until they stop. You can't con black people. Yes, we are the moral compass of this country. We are the soul of this republic. We are the descendants of warriors who endure chains, lashes and lynchings. And we still found the strength to rise, build and believe. As usual, it's always black people always have to save America. The first person that died for this country is a black man in Christmas attacks. Yeah, first person that died for America. So all them are trying to erase. Them hate us, all them are trying to erase us. They can't. Because we are God's children. That's why they hate us. Because we are ethical in a world full of sellouts. We are morally grounded when others are swayed by power. We are truthful in a time of mass deception. We are God-fearing while they are hell-bent on destruction. We call out injustice no matter where it hides, whether it's in red tie or a white robe. So now let me ask you something real. Do you know who the real terrorists in America are? It's not immigrants. It's not Muslim. It's not the protesters demanding justice. The real terrorists are some white men aligned with the GOP, the very same who belong to the Ku Klux Klan in ideology, if not in name. They hide behind flags and Bible, but their hearts are filled with hatred and evil. They call themselves conservative, but what they are trying to conserve is white supremacy, privilege and unchecked power. America is on the brink, not because of foreign enemies, but because of traitors from within. And if we don't stand up and speak the truth, then the darkness will swallow this nation whole. So watch the video, listen with open eyes, and never forget, we the people, especially black people, are the last line of defense against tyranny. Just look what happened the last time when Donald Trump, all in criminal conviction, who was responsible for prosecuting him? Just look, black people. Not one, the only white person that did stand up to Donald Trump was the man named Jack Smith, and he was appointed. So you watch, you listen, and you decide. Well, just show your corruption working. So you understand. And this is America. This is the United States of America that pat themselves as being the ethical and moral leader of the world. So you watch, you listen, and you decide.
Are very helpful, and they really stick with me. I'll show you what I mean. Here's the headline in the Wall Street Journal. The headline is, anxious trading partners promise to buy American to stave off Trump's tariffs. And you've seen a million articles like this, right? The bulk of the article under that headline is about what you would expect. Again, you've seen a lot like this. It's about various countries trying to strike deals with the U.S. so they can get themselves some relief, some favored treatment from Trump amid his gigantic, catastrophic world tariff experiment. So the countries are trying to get themselves some kind of relief, and among those discussed in this article is the nation of Vietnam. According to the Wall Street Journal, Vietnam has been trying to fend off harsh treatment under Trump's tariffs by, number one, buying American jets. Number two, allowing the Starlink internet service that's owned by Donald Trump's top campaign donor, Elon Musk, to operate inside their country. Weird that they decided that was a good idea. And number three, here's the kicker. Vietnam has also, quote, decided to accelerate the approvals for a $1.5 billion Trump resort in Vietnam. Oh, weird how that might get you better treatment from the U.S. government. I mean, I'm sure Vietnam has lots of good reasons to make sure a Trump Organization resort project is moving forward. Lots and lots and lots of them. It's weird that they think that might be correlated with the U.S. government giving them some sort of favorable treatment. But let's just stick a pin in that one for a second. There's another story I want to tell you. And I will tell you, even though I'm going to use the word cryptocurrency in telling you this story, don't worry, you don't have to understand anything about cryptocurrency in order to get this story. But here it is. A couple of years ago, the Justice Department accused an online cryptocurrency company that's called Binance of being basically a supermarket for crime. DOJ accused Binance of being a giant money laundering hub for terrorists and cyber criminals and customers in sanctioned countries like Iran and Russia. Binance pled guilty. They paid over $4 billion. That was the largest fine ever in the history of crypto. Its founder spent 4 months in prison. Ever since, Binance has been overseen by U.S. government-appointed monitors who ensure that Binance is no longer a supermarket for crime. It is now following the law and making sure Binance is only operating overseas and not operating in the United States at all. Now, Binance, naturally, they would very much like to get out from under that oversight, and they would very much like to operate in the United States again. But to do that, they need to get these pesky government monitors off their back. They need the U.S. government to decide they are out of the doghouse. And it would make their return easier, of course, if their founder were no longer a convicted felon. Well, when Donald Trump won the election last year, Binance sensed opportunity. This is also from the Wall Street Journal, quote, at an Abu Dhabi crypto conference last December, weeks before the inauguration, in the Wales-only back room, accessible to attendees who had paid $10,000 for a VIP pass, Binance's founder mingled with Trump's sons. Their founder were no longer a convicted felon. Well, when Donald Trump won the election last year, Binance sensed opportunity. This is also from the Wall Street Journal, quote, at an Abu Dhabi crypto conference last December, weeks before the inauguration, in the Wales-only back room, accessible to attendees who had paid $10,000 for a VIP pass, Binance's founder mingled with Trump's sons. Trump's son Eric and Trump allies. Eric was there to promote World Liberty, a crypto venture the Trump family had founded months earlier. For World Liberty, Binance's market power could help turn it into a serious player in the crypto industry. Binance has more than 250 million users. The more World Liberty cryptocurrency in circulation, of course, quote, the more the Trump family could profit. Again, ignore the word, like, cryptocurrency. This could be anything. I mean, say the Trump family had launched a new company that makes doohickeys. Well, Binance, if they partnered with the Trump family in this enterprise, they could get Trump doohickeys in front of hundreds of millions of potential customers, which would, of course, mean lots of profit for the Trump family. That is what Binance is offering to the Trump family. What does Binance want? Well, their convicted felon founder, quote, has been pushing for a Trump administration pardon. Has been pushing for the Trump administration to grant him a pardon. And the Wall Street Journal reports, quote, executives from Binance met with Treasury Department officials last month and discussed loosening U.S. government oversight on the company. Quote, Binance executives are optimistic the Trump administration will acquiesce. They are they? Maybe that's because as president, Donald Trump has already pardoned a whole slew of crypto felons, and his Justice Department has just disbanded its crypto policing unit. And also because Trump's SEC halted an investigation of another crypto executive after that executive dumped $75 million into the Trump family crypto company. So if the Wall Street Journal's reporting on this bears out, this is not even like This isn't even like textbook corruption, because you would not need to get to the level of school that uses textbooks in order to get to this level of understanding of corruption. This is like a coloring book of corruption. This is like corruption that you could understand if you'd never been to any school ever, anywhere. In any other time in American history, this scandal, 1/10 of this scandal, would be the end of a presidency. But this is just like day that ends in Y. This is our life now.
Yeah, so, whether or not you want to believe it, if you elect a corrupt leader, you are not just putting one dishonest person into power. You are opening the floodgates to an entire administration built on deceit, exploitation, and criminality. And I've stated before, and I'll say again, you will never find an honest criminal. It doesn't matter how high the criminal is. But you have to understand when you come on to white supremacy, that's how it is, White supremacy is built on lies, criminality, and all of that. Whether or not you want to believe it. When you're talking about honesty, decent, ethical morality, black people are the epitome of that. When you look at it, so when you're talking about everything that's go against immoral, just look to one race of people. They are the epitome of it. Not all of them, don't think that we're putting the people in a box. We're just telling you how it is because it's history. Yes, and although they don't want people to talk about history, and because it's a painful thing happening in the past, we know who are the original terrorists, who are the original thieves, who are the original murderers, who are the original rapists, who are the original conquerors and imperialists and colonialists. A corrupt individual at the top will never surround themselves with people of integrity. Why would they? Honest people would challenge their unethical decisions, expose their backroom deals, and resist being used as pawns in a game of national betrayal. So what do? They install a cabal of equally corrupt individuals, people who are loyal, not to the Constitution, not to the people, but to the corrupt machinery itself. Every appointment becomes a reward for silence. Every ministry, every department, a money laundering operation. Every government contract becomes a kickback. Every institution is weaponized to protect the criminals in office and to punish anyone who dares speak the truth. Electing a corrupt person is like hiring a termite to guard your wooden house. Not only will they gnaw through the foundation, but they will invite all their termite friends to come and feast as well, until nothing is left but hollow walls and broken dreams, and everything just crumble. So let's be clear. When you vote for corruption, you are not voting for change. You are voting for a collapse. You are endorsing a system where lies replace laws, thieves wear suits and justice is auctioned off to the highest bidder. And once that rat sets in, removing it is not easy. It buries itself into every corner of governance, from the justice system to the education department, from the police force to public health. It becomes a network of predators feeding on the nation's resources while blaming the victims for starving. That's why elections matters, characters matters, integrity matters, morality matters, truth matters. Because when you elect a corrupt leader, you are not just choosing your present, you are destroying your current future. So we are living in an era in America where corruption is not only at an all-time high, it is being paraded as patriotism. The very foundation of the republic is being eroded, not quietly, but in broad daylight, and it's being normalized, celebrated even by the Republican Party. This is no longer politics as usual. This is a coordinated assault on the Constitution of the United States of America. These individuals do not care about checks and balance. They do not care about the rule of law. And they certainly do not care about the oath they swore to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Because now, they are the domestic enemies. Let's speak plainly. If Barack Obama, we're not a fan of Obama, you know, because Obama never do anything for black people or American people. The only people that Obama did things for are the people them who do not know the difference between a man and a woman. That's all him do, and that's all Obama promoted was immorality. I know say some liberal, but look here. That's how I think in this world. People don't like when people tell them the truth. Yes, Obama never do anything for American people. All Obama did was to use the office, use the courts, and them champion this thing and them dismantle all of the good thing, don't ask, don't tell, and normalize something that's immoral and go against the laws of nature and God. And that's why we have a Donald Trump, because with you starting to use dictatorship and use the courts to pass law, say yes, two men can married, how you call it, husband and husband, and then they want to tell them want to change all birth certificate. That's how we get a Donald Trump. If the Democrats them never with the madness and all of these things, and them still up to it in 2025, and them do not realize that the American people do not want it because it's madness. You cannot, a man, a big long cocky, or a long seed, or a long penis man, for use bathroom with a man, wife and him daughter. And you gotta say that's normal. That's a madness. And them still, them not realize that that's the reason why them keep losing the election. And them still not abandon this kind of madness. It's from a socialist, imperialist indoctrination where you want people to ignore them conscience. You can't do that. Normal, anything that you're doing, if you love science, you only choose with science. You're supposed to love all science. And that's our problem. That's why we have a Donald Trump. And if the Democrats don't change them act, then you're going to have another Donald Trump. See him here. Because once I tell people all of these madness, people not going to bite, especially people who can think. So that's how it go. If Barack Obama had done even 1/4 of what this man has done, the lies, the obstruction, the incitement, the grifting, the criminal indictments, the undermining of national security, he wouldn't just be impeached, he would be behind bars, or, as some of these same Republicans love to say, before a firing squad. But hypocrisy is the meal of the day. They swore allegiance to, not to the country, but to one man. They genuflect to his ego, excuse his crimes, and treat his words as gospel, while trampling on the sacred institution that once held America together. So here's the question every decent American must ask. What does it take for one person, just one person, to stand up, not for a party, not for a seat, not for a re-election, but for the Constitution of the United States of America? What does it take to put country over cult, law over loyalty, and truth over tribalism? America cannot survive much longer on this current path. A republic cannot breathe when its lungs are filled with lies. A democracy cannot stand when its defenders sit in silence. We need patriots, not puppets. We need leaders, not lapdogs. We need citizens who understand that freedom without responsibility becomes anarchy. If one stands up, then let's history record that fall. Because if America failed, experiment wasn't of an outside enemy, but because of cowardice from within. Because too many were more loyal to a conman than to the Constitution. I myself, I look here. I can tell you this, that based on what I have seen, most of the people that gravitate to Donald Trump, they themselves have a criminal mind. I've never met an honest liar in my life, nor an honest con man. So I don't know how these people do it. But hey, racism is paramount to these people. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police Channel, out.